everyone, this is Jeanette Wong, founder of Empowering Leap. Welcome to a new episode of my webcast, The Growth Invitation, where we talk about all things self-mastery and growth, of course, to empower you to fulfill your greatness. Today, I am super honored to be joined by two amazing guys. First up, we've got John Farrell, a clean language practitioner and emergent knowledge trainer, and also a part-time coach. Hi, John.
Hi, Janet. Thank you for having me along. I'm looking forward to today.
And also, we also have Patrick Rombouts. We've got who is a growth strategist and owner of 7X. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Janet. Thank you for having me. Yeah, really looking forward to this session.
Thanks, guys. So today we're going to talk about something so important to every single one of us. It absolutely affects every single person on this planet, and it's going to be GOOP. Now, you might be thinking, what the hell is GOOP? So this is a term that we learned from Peter Sage. GOOP means the good opinion of other people. So what actually is GOOP? Where does it come from? Where and how did we set it up as a system? John, maybe I can direct this question to you.
Thank you, Jenna. I'm particularly honored that you announced us as your honored guests. That feels really good.
Of course.
It feels really good, not just in my head. And that's GOOP, the opinion, the good opinion of other people. And this is something that most of us that are asleep, we do this all the time. We get knocked around by our environment. And most of us don't even realize something happens, and it happens outside us, and it affects our emotions initially. The first thing it is our emotions, and then we react. We see people all around us in our environment that this is the GOOP. This is what we're being bombarded with all the time. And it's affected by how we were as a young child. That created that sensation, that emotion as a very, very young child. And it's grown from there. And most of us we're not aware of it. We carry on through life, not really noticing the emotions, just reacting. And we see in other people their behaviors. We don't see the emotions come up. We don't know where it's come from. They could have had a traumatic childhood. Traumas, significant emotional events that in themselves are insignificant, but form the character in the person.
And I can certainly resonate with that. Absolutely. Thank you for that. It's brought to light a lot of the things that we might not be aware of in the past. And actually having that understanding is really amazing for the audience here to start thinking about what is it that could have been affecting them. Patrick, I think you've had some experiences of yourself, of your own, right, about this?
Yes, I do. But I don't know if I probably am not supposed to ask a question, but I would love to ask a question to John before I start with my story. John, GOOP and perfectionism, is that the same for you?
I think it depends on the person. If I've had a traumatic, when I say trauma, I don't mean like car accident level trauma. It can be something like my mum shouting at me, significant emotional event. If I've had lots of those and I'm swaying that way, then I'm going to be more reflective of people shouting at me or putting me on the spot. Perfectionism is, for me, I think, is a little bit more internal.
Is there ever a perfect human? It's one of the questions that came up in my mind when you asked that question. And if there isn't, which I believe there isn't, because every person is different, every person is as beautiful as the other, then I would like to ask another question, which is, if there isn't perfection, then why are you striving to be perfect? Are you striving to feel perfect in terms of someone else's eyes? Or are you trying to, or what does perfect look like? And where did your model of perfect come from?
change the question around? Are there any imperfect people?
Yes, that's true. Thank you for correcting me. Are there any imperfect people? Yeah, thank you very much for correcting me on that.
I know I'm not correcting. It's just a.
No, I think it's a very valid
comment.
comment. Yes, absolutely. And I think having the "are there any perfect people" almost puts a negative spin on it. So I really like your spin of "are there any imperfect people?" Thank you, John. What about you? What do you think, Patrick?
Well, I think I go with John a bit in the sense that this is more internal. It's a result of GOOP more. Huh? So something that you end up with because, yeah, the good opinion of other people. And often, and I know from personal experience that often people do this with the best intention. I think everyone, we as parents, have had always the best intention to your children. That doesn't mean it's the right thing to do, but it's with the best intention. And in the end, yeah, you start to behave in the sense that you want to do everything perfect, which is a burden that you never can win from. Huh? Okay, well, my little story, although it's not little, you see that on the gray hairs. I do run around a few years on this planet already. I've had a very, very present mother, and that's a kind of an understatement. And there was a lot of status was extremely important for her. What she was saying to my two sisters and myself, what would other people think? What would other people say? And that was kind of a constant thing, a theme that came up, in my whole childhood, in fact. Now, at that moment, and particularly the first couple of years, you have no critical thinking. So I didn't. But even then, when you're 7, 8, 9, you just want to please. You want to be part of it. You want to behave, and then you get you get rewarded for that behavior. So in fact, they reward the wrong behavior, and you bring that along in even as an adolescent or later when you start your own family. I started to see my behavior. I always wanted to be the best, which is you can't be always the best, obviously, but I was always trying for that. I even, when my children were young, they didn't want to play games with me because I always wanted to win. And well, that's not nice. I know that now, but I didn't realize that. Now, as part of my career, this has helped me a lot because I was also, I started as a sales rep, and as a sales rep, I won most competitions between the salespeople. That was kind of, for me, that's what I was living for. So beating, trying to be perfect. And that has brought me quite far in my career because I ended up in corporate life and in a quite senior role. But at the last couple of years, it became very difficult, but you just can't keep up. And this is flying back, and you are always striving for a compliment from, is it either from your line manager or someone from your team? You end up with some by being someone that has almost no opinion because you always want to blend in. You do not want to hurt anyone. You want to please everyone, and that became quite difficult. And it's also thanks to the same person that you already mentioning, Jeanette, Peter Sage, where I really started filling the blanks in or connecting the dots throughout my life. And since I got to that insight, it has liberated me enormously. It took me 60 years to get to that insight. So if I can wish something to obviously the audience, that you're here, is obviously that you do not wait 60 years before you come to that kind of insight. because it gives you so much freedom, and it deprives you from your full potential, that self-limiting belief, and that's something that I really do not wish to anyone here in the audience, but not anyone on this planet either. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Patrick. That was really beautiful. Thank you. So, guys, if there was one thing, and one thing only, don't be greedy, one thing only that you can recommend that the audience can start doing right now in terms of how can they eliminate GOOP from their lives, what would that be?
We're on a journey. Eliminating it is going to be a tall order. It's still, I still, people can still affect me. What I would recommend is that people take up sports. You'll notice I do sports. I think with sport, where I'm leading with this is to become aware of the emotions that come up for us. And in life, we can sort of go along, that all happens quite slowly. But in sport, if you're playing a round of golf, or you're playing football, or you're going for a run, or something you're using your physical body, these emotions come up faster. So my recommendation is get out, do some sport. It's also good for you. Get out, do some sport, and become aware of the emotions that come up when you're doing that sport. Even if you're going out for a run, it's, this is too hard. Well, where's that coming from? Where's that emotion coming from? You're not good enough.
Thank you, John. Patrick?
Well, only one. Huh? Give up the need for control. And that is such an important, that's something that really helped me, surrendering yourself, because, well, in fact, there is nothing you can control. People think that you can control. Something that I see often happening in my coaching practice, and I keep on saying that you can't control anything. Yeah. So if you can let that go, that will give you so much freedom, and it will be an important step into the right direction, I would say.
Thank you, guys. I guess I should probably give one as well. My recommendation to the audience, my one recommendation would be every single day, think about at least one thing that you are amazing at. Just having the awareness of how amazing you are is going to get you a very long way. You don't need any validation from anyone else, just yourself. When you know and you really believe that you're amazing, you are amazing. And on that note, thank you very much, guys, for coming onto the webcast today. It's been such an amazing one episode. I believe everyone will have loved it. If anyone of the audience would like, and thank you very much for watching, and see you again next time. Thank you. Bye, friends.
Thanks, Janet. Bye.
Bye-bye.